They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Hi everyone. Just before I released this video, it turns out that one of the stars of Night of the Living Dead passed away. The news was released that Marilyn Eastman, who played Helen Cooper, died at the age of 87. And she was one of the last remaining cast members from Night of the Living Dead. So it's sort of a coincidence because, you know, it's all about tributes and that's what we do, or that's what I do. And so this is a little tribute to Marilyn Eastman, who was actually the godmother of Kira Schoen, who murdered her in the movie. So rest in peace, Marilyn Eastman, and on with the show. Hey everyone, Scott with Dearly Departed online with a new video for you. I'm out in my garden, gardening, but not with any kind of garden trowel. This is a special Night of the Living Dead trowel that was autographed by Kira Schoen, who was a little girl who murdered her mother with a similar trowel, and she autographs this "I hurt," which was her only line in the movie.
Baby, it's Mommy. I hurt.
So Jordan the Lion and I were recently on a trip to, we went along through the Midwest a lot. And we started off in Pittsburgh because I've always wanted to go to the Evans City Cemetery because that's where they made Night of the Living Dead, which is one of my favorite horror movies. It really brought zombies. It's not the first zombie movie, but it was huge. And when it came out in '68, it was a low budget movie, but it packed a wallop. And it was about 73 or 74, a buddy of mine, his mom took us to see the movie at the movie theater. I had no idea what it was going to be about, and it freaked me out big time. And thus my love-hate relationship with zombies. So when Jordan and I went to Pennsylvania, they were having, bizarrely, a Night of the Living Dead zombie festival. So we caught just the tail end of it, and in the shopping mall where Dawn of the Dead was actually filmed. And it was pretty cool. So you're going to see a little bit of footage from that. And my other artifact is actually an autographed copy of Night of the Living Dead, autographed by Russ Striner, who played Johnny, and John Russo, who was one of the producers, and he was also one of the zombies. And when I met these guys, it was at an autograph show, and they were so nice. And Russ Striner, I asked him to autograph it, and I asked him to say, you know, will you please sign it? They're coming to get you, Scott. And he stopped and he goes, oh, you are a big fan, which is so nice because, I mean, 1,000 people have to ask him to sign that way all the time, but he was super nice.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
And everyone was super nice, and it's one of my favorite movies, and the Evans City Cemetery was another bucket list for me. So Jordan and I got to check it out, and here's the video. Night of the Living Dead. Night of the Living Dead. I'm Dookie. Night of the Living Dead, because we are here in Evans City, Pennsylvania.
I think you complain just to hear yourself talk. There it is.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're acting like a child.
They're coming for you. Look, there comes one of them now.
She'll hear you.
Here he comes now. I'm getting out.
John.
So as you can see, we were just having a bit of fun. We weren't matching up, scientifically the shots inch by inch. We were, just having a laugh. And we did have a laugh. I did some video. I did a walk around of the chapel in the cemetery. There was a nice lady who was the caretaker there who was just sweeping the steps, etc. And she talked to me for a little while about the chapel, which was kind of neat. Although the building wasn't really featured in the movie, it's still cool to see. Did the walls over inside. Floor is still original. Pews are original.
The pews was brought in a couple months ago.
No kidding. Well, they got perfect matching.
By a church that burned down in Evans City.
No kidding.
And they were storing them and selling them for $200 a piece or something. And then somebody came up with the idea to get them for here, so they gave them for free.
How fantastic.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, do they do services in here anymore?
No, actually, like I said, structurally it's teetering on maybe, and I don't think they have the money to.
Yeah.
Sure, and I was part of the group that raised the $50,000.
See, and I was part of that. I mean, from a distance, I put it out before Facebook and YouTube. I put it out on my mailing list. Whoever organized it got in touch with me. So I was part of helping get attention.
And I'm the gal that puts in the gardens here and takes care
How
of
nice.
it.
Well, I was just telling a couple of the people who are visiting their loved ones how nice the fans are. I went to the main places. There's no graffiti. There's no crap left there like you see at like Jim Morrison's grave or something.
Oh yeah, that's one thing I have to say I'm impressed too, because the family that owns this, the Coles, they'll shut it down.
Yeah.
They'll shut it down. So I'm good friends with Gary Strider, so he's trying to keep everything as positive, and
I think horror movie fans really are kind people.
I think so.
So as you can see, Barbara is running from the cemetery being chased by the zombie, and she spots a barn in the distance, or a farmhouse. So we had confirmation from the owner of the property that brown cabin was the house where the shed or the house was that was in pretty poor shape in the movie. That's where they filmed it. And it's long since destroyed, but that's where the house was, where the majority of the action took place inside the house. So we did briefly stop in the shopping mall where the 1978 version of Dawn of the Dead was filmed. And here are a couple of looks inside and out.
What they used to do. This is an important place in their lives.
And there's the roof, and if you look really close, you can see those plastic fiberglass sort of triangles. You know? Just wouldn't fit. We're at the Monroeville Mall, scene of Dawn of the Dead, and they put a bust up here for George Romero after he died, dedicated to him after he died. They've really embraced that whole Dawn of the Dead thing here. That's not the real pennies up there, but I guess he was saying the clock tower was in here. There's the museum. Hang on for just a second, and I'll show you the inside of the Living Dead Museum. In the meantime, I want to thank a few people who've been supporting this page by the Patreon link below or by the PayPal link below. Donations and your support are very much appreciated, especially Tony Miller, Charlotte Elizabeth, Dana Hatzemichaels, Rob Nielsen, Brett Shearer, Susan Naus, Annette T., Melissa Brown, Graham Jernigan, Durwood Fisher, Ann Meyer. You are like the biggest cheerleader, and I so appreciate it. And Virgil, thank you so very much. And I promise you, if you've been sponsoring the page from fairly recently, I'll be giving you a shout out, and thank you again.
I can't believe they have so much stuff to buy.
Night of the Living Dead weekend, and here we are. That's the museum back
Zombie
there.
capital of the world shirt.
Nice.
It's called Romero Court. That's so great.
It's awesome. Hi there. Is this your shop?
I work it.
Okay.
It's not mine, it's owned by Kevin.
Can we see the museum?
Yeah, it's 8 apiece.
Okay. Fabulous. So
Since convening this conference of the Presidential Cabinet, the FBI, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the CIA has not produced any public information. Why are space experts being consulted about an Earth-bound emergency? So far, all the betting on the answer to that question centers on the recent Explorer satellite shot to Venus. That satellite, you recall, started back to Earth, but never got here. As the space vehicle which orbited Venus and then was purposely destroyed by NASA, scientists discovered it was carrying a mysterious high-level radiation with it. Could that radiation be somehow responsible for the wholesale murders we're now suffering? Civil defense officials in Cumberland have told Newsnet that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers.
nice.
And there's the guy from Night of the Living Dead who attacks him in the cemetery.
Look at that. Neat. I wish they souvenirs would be so freaking cool of the real mall. squirting blood. And look at, there's a fear and a half. What happens in an elevator?
Ash.
Very cool. Original elevator, door ceiling, that's very cool. Oh, look at that, the head. Costume and headpiece. Neat. Very nice people who allowed us to do this. Wow, look at that miniature. Nice. Oh, there's the map too. Very cool. Original light fixture, neat. Signed by George. Wow, look at that.
Stop it! You're ignorant.